doctor.
My love language, I think, is quality time and gifts. Because most girls like to receive gifts and they want their boyfriends to spend time with them instead of their friends all the time.
My love language is when somebody tells me how they feel about me. It's what I love being told what they feel so that we can get close to each other.
I love cooking, you know, in the morning I like to do a breakfast for the family. That is my love line, you know, it's that I love to make gifts for them, you know, and love to do things for them.
How do you maintain a relationship straight into marriage and things like that? How do you keep the fire alive? Will let the novelty not wear off?
I don't know, if I was sitting at someone who's counseling me, I'd probably say, is it worth it to all the compromises? Is it worth it at the end?
Oh, I like cuddling up to my wife and holding her and hugging her. And I probably like the same thing from her too.
Basically just trust, and obviously, you know, you have to just show your feelings and be upfront and open, and it will be everlasting.
Why is it that so few couples have found the secret to keeping their love alive long after the honeymoon has ended? To fall in love, you need a pulse. To stay in love, you need a plan. And he who fails to plan, plans to fail. One of the best plans I've come across in my 17 years of being very happily married is the 5 languages of love. And I've asked Miriam Ameer Mia to join us in studio to unpack that revolutionary concept. Miriam, the 5 languages of love, help.
Yes, well, before marriage, there are dreams of marital bliss, that we are going to be super happy, that we're special, and love will indeed conquer all. Yeah. Then the reality sets in. And the point of departure for the 5 languages of love is that we've all got an emotional love tank. And the emotional love tank is as fundamental to marriage as oil is to a car. And if it's running on empty, then problems are going to occur. Right. So the question is, how do we fill this emotional love tank? This is done through the 5 love languages. And a primary love language is basically the medium through which we convey our love, admiration to our partner in a way that is meaningful for them.
I couldn't agree with you more, and that's so important. It's all about what your partner, or how your partner wants to be loved, not about how you want to be loved. So it's figuring out what your love languages are. So what are the 5 love languages? I mean, the first one, the big one, is always words of affirmation, isn't it?
Indeed. Words are very powerful communicators of love, and words of affirmation can include verbal compliments. It can also include supportive words, as well as requests and not demands.
And the more specific, I think, the better, not so. You know, it's not just you look lovely. It's, wow, I love the way you smile when you laugh at that joke I've told for the umpteenth time. I think the more specific, the more powerful words of affirmation are.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
What about quality time? That's a second love language.
Yes, quality time is very important also. It's about giving your partner undivided attention, not sitting and watching TV together. And it is usually in an activity that your partner enjoys. For example, going for a walk or going for supper. And it is not so much about the activity per se, that is incidental. It is all about inculcating a sense of togetherness. That's right. And this quality time also entails quality conversation. So it's an empathic dialogue between couples where you're actually present, actively listening to your partner.
Not a debate, not a discussion, it's connecting, in other words.
Absolutely.
Great. All right, so words of affirmation, quality time, giving of gifts?
Yes, receiving of gifts. For example, if one receives a gift, one can hold it in their hands and think, gosh, he was thinking of me. So it's a symbol of such a thought. And if your partner's primary love language is receiving gifts, the cost of the gift does not matter.
Yes,
it's all about receiving something from your partner, that they have actually thought about you. And the next language of love is physical touch. In fact, research has shown that children who are hugged and held fare better emotionally than those that have gone for long periods without any physical touch. So physical touch in a relationship includes embracing, kissing. It includes sexual intercourse as well, as long as that is your partner's primary love language. And physical touch, nothing says how important it is when there is a crisis. When there is a crisis and it is your partner's primary love language, nothing says more than holding them as they cry, because your ability to touch them in these moments will never be forgotten, while your failure to touch will always be remembered.
You're so right. Words of wisdom, Miriam. We've got 4. Quality time, words of affirmation, gift-giving, physical touch. The 5th language of love
is acts of service.
Yes.
And this basically entails doing something for your partner that you know they would like you to do. And it can be quite mundane, actually. Maybe taking out the trash, walking the dog, cutting the grass. But it's basically, it's a choice. It's a choice to love, and it's a choice of making a certain amount of sacrifice to ensure that their emotional love tank is consistently filled.
It's so important to reiterate that I might not love mowing the lawn, but my wife appreciates it, and so I choose to do that. Love what you said. Choosing to love is key. How do we figure out what our partner's love language is? I mean, I know what mine is, physical touch. What's my partner's?
Well, one has to sit and reflect about one's partner. For instance, in observing one's partner, how do they most often express their love for other people? Secondly, think about what it is they complain about. Because usually what people complain about is a very good clue as to knowing their primary love language, because it indicates an area in which they themselves have an emotional need. And thirdly, what is it that they request most often from you?
So understanding and using the 5 love languages requires a great basis of communication. I mean, that's just foundational. But communication in marriage is not the be-all and the end-all, is it?
No, it's not. There is actually a myth that if one communicates effectively, that one's relationship is safe. While the ability to be able to communicate effectively is important, the secret is, how is a couple's relationship when they are not fighting? And in this respect, couples must strive to form a context in which their communication takes place. They must actually strive for a deep friendship between each other. They must actually know each other's dreams, aspirations, their likes and dislikes. They must enjoy spending time together, and they must be each other's best friends. Because when adversarial issues come up, this will be the most important protection against conflict going overboard.
Yeah.
And secondly, they must also nurture their fondness and admiration for each other. And this is where the 5 love languages fits in.
Great. Miriam, thank you so much. Lovely concept. And I love the concept because it helps couples, it helps Jackie and I identify practical and powerful ways to express love simply by using the appropriate love language. If you feel like you're caught in a loveless relationship, maybe by recognizing your different love languages, you'll experience a rebirth of the love you thought had been gone for good. I hope so.
I want to live the best life.